Hello, everyone, and welcome down to episode number 59 of the Down South Photo Show. With me, Brendan Waits, here in Ocean Grove.
Sunny Ocean
Victoria.
Grove.
It is in my background, and it was today.
Yes.
Here in sunny Ocean Grove, Victoria, Australia, and my good mate on the other screen. And in your other ear, if you are listening to this, Cam Blake in Hobart Town, Tasmania. Hello, Cameron.
Hello, Brendan. How are you on this very summery southeast Australian day? It's
What a difference a week makes. I think last week we were pissing and moaning about the horrible weather coming across, and today was absolutely magnificent.
last week you said, oh, watch this. Next week we'll be carrying on about how hot it is. And here we are. We're not carrying on about how hot it is. We're enjoying the heat at the moment. But
I think I made a few predictions last week that came true, but we'll get on to that.
you might be the Nostradamus of Ocean Grove.
Maybe. How you been, mate? You been well?
I've been very well, yes. We've had a great week, and we're gearing up for another great week.
Good.
But it's wonderful to be back here talking to your good self.
And just quietly, 4 episodes on the trot without a break. That's not bad for us.
Yeah, we're going to break that next week though, because I won't be here next week. So
well, maybe I better tee up a guest then and go for episode 60. Go solo.
Yeah, maybe get someone who's 60 years old or something. You'd almost qualify for that, wouldn't
you?
No, okay.
Just
checking.
I'm a little bit old, a little bit younger than that. That's fine. Okay. Let's kick off as we do each and every week with our backgrounds. And
have we thanked everyone for subscribing?
Thanks everyone for subscribing, listening, tuning in, all that sort of stuff. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks for sharing us around too. We love it when we get a little share happening.
We do.
If you've got friends, family, anyone that you know who might be interested in listening to some photography chatter, particularly landscape photography, because that's what we do here on the Down South Photo Show, then by all means, send them a share. How do you do that? Is there a share button?
There's that little like swooshy arrow.
Okay.
I think
send them a swooshy arrow from probably underneath this if you're on the tubes, and there's probably a share button on your pod thing as well. So
yeah, the pods and the tubes, the tube pods.
Podcast is flying along, doing well.
Yeah, we are doing well.
As far as the numbers are concerned. Cool. My background, for those of you who can't see it, there is a couple of surfers silhouetted, but they are not surfing. They are walking with their surfboards.
Yes, they are.
This is my beach at Ocean Grove, the main beach, in fact, where I was only 15, 20 minutes ago. Enjoying not quite a sunset like that, but it was pretty down there anyway.
Yeah,
that's this was done with my 150 to 600 Sigma.
Oh, yes.
At the 600 pointy end. And quite often what happens is when I see the sun setting, I want to get surfers walking out of the water. I'll run very quickly because I want them to be in front of the sun like that. So
yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, I really quite like, for some strange reason, I quite like the power lines in the background as well. I don't normally like power lines, but it adds a little something to this shot. Yeah,
it does. I think it adds, that sort of adds like there's 3 power lines, 2 surfers. It sort of works together pretty well.
One sun.
Hey, I got a funny quick story about using long lenses on beaches. I was on the east coast of Tassie a few years ago with Lisa and maybe one kid, not both kids. I don't think the other one was here yet. Anyway, there were some really cool surfers out there taking waves on and boogie boarders and stuff like that. And I think I had like a 100 to 300 equivalent or something like that. And I was just taking photos. So I walked down the beach and I was sort of shooting back up the beach and I was bang, bang, bang. I wasn't using bat button focus and I was still nailing every one of them. And bang, 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 bang. I'm like, that's pretty cool. And anyway, I sort of did a few close in and I did a few zoomed out a bit. And as I'm zooming out, I took another few photos. I see this person in the surf, when you sort of like move the camera and someone's just gunballing you down the lens. And it was this topless lady was in there swimming.
Right.
And
awkward.
She saw me and I sort of went, oh, and I put the camera straight down. And she came storming out of the beach, a bit like Baywatch, but maybe not as friendly. And I went, and I'm like to Lisa, I said, look, let's just keep walking. We're going to go that way anyway. I'm sure she's going to say something. And as we walked past, she gave me a filthy look as if I was taking photos of her.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, I was just about to say, you know what? I was taking the surfers behind you. Like there's 20 of them just, 100 meters behind you. I thought, you know what? No, I'm not going to enter that, not engage that. Just kept walking. Yeah. But it was a very awkward moment and made me look like a dirty old man with my wife next to me and a kid with a big long lens taking nudie shots on a beach.
Yeah, so. I know. Well, sometimes it's like that, isn't it? And when you get people in your shots, So the shot I've got there with the surfers, that they probably to this day don't even know if that photo exists. But you can't ID them; they're obviously silhouetted. So
were they naked?
That's a little different, I guess.
They
Can't
could be
tell in
naked.
that photo. They're covered by their boards. They're covering their vanity by their boards.
Is that their boards? Is it?
Hey, the
Oh,
night
you're
has
a
been
week.
young.
My background.
So
Let's have.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, you finished? Oh, no, you go.
No, I'm done.
Sorry, yeah, I cut
That's
you
all I
right off
had.
then.
That's
No, you
fine.
didn't.
What about your background? Let's see it.
Oh, I think you make me feel like an asshole. I thought you were finished.
That's a Franklin River.
It is another Franklin River one. Yeah, this is just another little nice waterfall. Just thought while we're in the spirit of Franklin, going down there in a few days, let's just chuck up another shot. This is a beautiful spot called Newlands Cascades, where you actually camp under the caves behind us. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Wow. Anyway, back to your shot because I cut you off.
No. I've got questions. So you're heading off on the Franklin this week?
Tomorrow I meet the crew.
Okay, so when this pod goes out, you are
Friday. By the time this pod comes out, we will be bumping our way down the river somewhere.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now I think we probably talked about this last year when you did the same trip around the same time.
Yep.
But what do you sleep in?
Nothing. Sleeping bag.
Okay. Yeah. So you don't have a tent?
No tents. So we sleep under tarps.
Yeah.
So what the rafting guides do, they do what's called tarpology. So they put up a whole heap of tarps around this camp and they sort of string them all together. So you have this sort of big communal area where everyone sort of sleeps. But if you don't like communal areas, then you can always grab yourself a small tarp and then go find yourself a little bit of paradise in the forest, somewhere like that. And what they do is they give you a big sheet of shade cloth, which you put underneath you, so it stops all the sticks and stuff coming through to you. And then they give us these thermarests, which are pretty thick mattresses that self-inflate, and then a sleeping bag on top of that. And then you can use whatever for a pillow. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Even if it's raining, generally if you get your tarp set up properly, you're staying dry and stuff like that. But so yeah, it'll be interesting. I think we've got a fairly big group going. So whether or not everyone sleeps under the same tarps or everyone goes and partners off or whatever it might be, mates go with mates or whatever, but we'll sort that out. Some of them we sleep in caves and under overhangs and things like that, so you don't need tarps at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a very unique trip, that's for sure.
It's definitely in the wild, isn't it?
Yeah, you probably can't get much more wild than this in Australia, I don't think, because
I think you'd be right.
I don't think there's anywhere else in Australia where you can go down a river for 8 days, you see like one or two man-made objects the entire way, and it's completely untouched. There's no dedicated campsites, there's no platforms, there's no toilets, there's no nothing. So everything that goes down the river and comes out on the river comes back out on the boat with us. So we carry absolutely everything out, including our waste, personal and food.
Yeah, which is very, very cool. I love it. It's
on
the list.
Looking forward to it.
Right. Very cool. Now, look, we can't let the podcast go any further without mentioning
Mel popped in. Oh.
That's coming later. Your big award that you won last weekend at the Tasmanian Tourism Awards. Give it up for Cam.
Yeah, thank you. It was well predicted by your good self.
I did call it.
You said you put the house on it, and I went, "You're going to lose your house, my friend."
Yeah.
But no, we did. We went to the big gala evening. We got dressed up. Lisa and I, Chelsea and her husband Isaac came along because Chelsea does a bit of work for me. So we made a bit of a night. That was our team. So every other table had teams of 10 people and CEOs and everything else that's going on. We just had a little team down the front. So yeah, we went there. It was a beautiful gala. There was about 400 people there. And they started, they did not muck around. The Brownlow where they just drag it on as long as they can. This was the opposite. They're like, okay, category 1, bang, 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 well done. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's someone else's one. No, like he didn't have a chance to think. But they got to ours, the adventure tourism category.
How many categories in before they got to yours? In other words, how many beers in before they got to yours?
I was a few beers in. I reckon I was about 7 beers in, 6 beers in.
Right. Yeah.
But they'll do, what they do when they go to these bloody fancy things? They keep topping your glass up. So the glass is only so big. So you're getting like half a can, like, all right, I need more, mate,
Yeah.
So I probably only had maybe 4 beers in total.
Yes.
By that stage. So they got to our category 13, unlucky 13, adventure tourism, and they announced the winner, and the winner was us. And we're like, oh, okay, I guess we got to go on stage. And so we had to get on this stage in this big bloody whole area here, big hoo-ha. And we got presented the award by one of the guys who runs the NRMA tourism hotels down in Tassie, big head of NRMA. And then, yeah, we got our award, and we had to go out and have photos, and then they did an interview. It was all a bit ooh la la, which is not me. But yeah, we got a great trophy. We got this beautiful trophy.
Let's see it.
And it is bloody heavy.
Look at that, folks.
Yeah.
And now for those listening, we need a description, Cam.
All right. So this weighs about, I'll give you the weight. It weighs about 5 kilo. So the top half of this is actually hue and pine. And this is the hue and pine pattern here. It's got details of the awards and who won it and things like that. And then on the bottom, it's got a granite, but it's actually Tasmanian dolerite base. So it's very Tassie orientated. So yeah, it's a beautiful bit of wood. It weighs a lot. Like I said, it's got our Tasmanian photography workshops there. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not too bright. Right there. So yeah, that's pride of place down here in the new office.
Anyone else see the irony of a photographer not getting the exposure right on his own trophy?
It's his bloody lighting over here. Yes. So it's funny you say that. It's funny you say that about exposure, because I thought I'll take a couple of photos for promos, as you would. And I was down here and like, well, that lighting's not working. Shit, that lighting's not working. I end up doing it on the kitchen table with just a light from the back out the kitchen window there. So yeah, it's a bit bright. So hue and pine's quite a light coloured wood. So yeah, it's not great. So
well, from the bottom of my heart, and from I'm sure a lot of the listeners as well, congratulations. It is hard earned. I mean, yeah, there's a saying, it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. So
yeah,
you've certainly done
10 years.
That's right. You've done the hard yards to get to that kind of achievement. So congratulations.
Thank you.
As I say, well deserved. And here's to the next 10 years and more trophies down the track.
Well, funny you say that, because I didn't know this, but Chelsea did, but no one else seemed to know. We now go into the national awards. So because we won our category, we now have to go to Sydney in March to the Australian Tourism Awards. So that's the big one. And because we're a gold medalist in our division, so to speak, we now compete against the gold winners of every other state to see who is the gold winner of the Australian Adventure Tourism Award.
That's fantastic.
So if we win that would be slightly hilarious. It would be a bit shocking as well.
When we get to March and we're in the podcast, ask me then how I'm feeling about your chances. Okay, I don't want to set it up yet. I've gone 1 for 1 so far.
1 for 1. It's funny. I was talking to Lisa today about that, and I'm like, well, when you think about it, because in the national awards they hand out gold, silver, and bronze. I'm like, there's 7 states and territories that enter. Like we're 1 in 7 chance, even, and 3 of them win something. So I'm like, that's pretty good odds.
Yeah, that's right.
But we, I would say we're miles out of our league considering who else is winning those categories around Australia. But it was an absolute honour. But
don't underestimate.
I
personally, I think you're good for a podium, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well, yeah. Either way, there'll be more being drunk. And I've only ever been to Sydney once. So
is that right?
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Sydney once. And this one, March sometime. So yeah, away we go. I might need a date. What are you doing in March?
Coming with you to Sydney. Let's do it. That sounds like fun.
We dress up in pink and purple tuxedos like Dumb and Dumber.
Do I have to pretend that I work for you?
I pretend I work for me.
Fair point. Well made.
Yes. Anyway, so thank you.
Well done, mate. Awesome.
Thank you.
That's 5 minutes of the podcast. We'll never get back. We jokes. Today, the number 1 ticket holder popped into the store. Hello, Mel.
He did.
Here's a picture of Mel with his canvas.
It's a good looking canvas.
He's quite the photographer. He's very humble.
Yes, nothing wrong with that.
I told him that I really appreciate his color palette. In other words, he doesn't grab hold of the saturation slider and take it up 800%. No. He's very controlled with that, and also he's particularly that photo that he's got there. The composition was great. So it was great to see Mel. He drove up from Myrtleford and said g'day and stayed the night last night in Barwon Heads and had a good old time looking around my stomping ground.
Did you apologise for not answering any of his emails this year?
Of course.
Okay. I'm not in the doghouse because I answer Mel, and
And he took it on the chin nicely. So that's fine. I understand you're a busy man. But he had to drive all the way from Myrtleford to get it. So
yeah, it's a long way from Myrtleford, isn't it?
Look, Mel, I don't think Mel minds the drive. It's actually not a bad part of the world to drive through, actually. So
and it's all downhill. So
yeah. So the main topic tonight that you've probably already seen in the thumbnail, if we didn't actually put that Cam won an award in the thumbnail, maybe we'll do that instead. But anyway,
yeah, we'll figure a way.
'Tis the season, Cam. We've turned the corner. Things are warming up. It's November. The Melbourne Cup's been run and won.
Kids are asking what they're getting for Christmas.
It's already. Can you believe it? How many sleeps till Christmas?
It's about
40.
Yeah, it's not many.
It's how does it happen?
That's ridiculous. And then the other thing is we'll be talking about, how was your Christmas, Brendan? Have a good break, and we'll be over and done with before you know it. So
of course we will. So we want to talk about what would you buy a photographer for Christmas? And we're saying this because a lot of people who listen have probably got family members and friends and family who are also keen on photography.
I thought you were going to say we're saying this so people know what to buy us. Our viewers might send us just shower us in gifts for the whole year that we've been presenting all this entertainment.
And I'm going to kick it off with the very first suggestion. If you are looking to buy anyone any equipment, and I'm talking actual cameras, lenses, that sort of stuff, for the love of God, don't get them a voucher and let them go and choose their own. It really is a personal thing, this.
It is.
I being in the game for as long as I have been, we see it a lot where the very well-meaning partner will come in and choose the camera for the other partner, and then they're like,
and then they get to Christmas Day and they open up like, it's a Canon.
No. That's right.
I said I didn't want a Canon.
Exactly.
No one uses Canon anymore. But you're right.
Half price. Yeah, Canon's always half price.
I bought the new R6 Mark II. They said it was really good. They said it was like 24 megapixels and it was $4,500.
You are on fire tonight. But a voucher. I know people hate giving vouchers because it's a cop out, but really, if it's a voucher to an actual camera store, then they get the point that you've actually thought, well, you're into your photography. Away you go.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I would definitely start there, particularly, as I say, if you're looking at maybe spending quite a bit of money on equipment like lenses and stuff like that. Yeah,
no, I agree. That's a good one, because you're right. If someone rocked up, and we're taking the piss, but if someone said, hey, here's a Canon, and someone had their heart set on a Fuji or a Nikon or a Sony, there's nothing worse than at Christmas time when someone gives you something that you're like, I so love the appreciation of what and the effort you've been to. But that is a shit present, and I don't want it. It's such a terrible. Like, no one ever says it out loud, or not. That's right. Some families might, but everyone, in your head, you're like, okay, that's just going to go straight to the back of the room and
the regifting pile.
But hey, I reckon what would be for like what I like getting as a photographer. I've always been big on the magazine subscriptions and books or things like that. I reckon they're pretty cool. So something like the Australian Photographer magazine, or I used to love the Wild magazine, which is like the outdoor one, but had cool photos in it. Yeah. Or, if you got, if someone loves landscape photography, I'm a big fan of all the old Peter Dombrowski books and, the Ken Duncan books or the Tom Putton, Cam Blake books, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But I think books are a good one, because they're just an endless
people are going to get suspicious really quick that we're just plugging our own businesses here. We're not doing that.
That's what it says on the running sheet. That's
right.
The actual F do we buy? Make sure we plug our businesses, you wrote.
That's right, exactly.
No.
The other magazine, Better Photography, which is Peter Eastway's publication.
Yeah.
I think he started that as a monthly, but it ended up becoming, I think it comes out with the seasons now. There's only 4 a year.
I think it's
Is
quarterly,
that right?
I think so.
Quarterly. And outstanding. Yeah. Outstanding publication. So
everything he touches turns to magic, really, doesn't it, Peter Eastway?
He's a very, very, very talented photographer. So we're going it's like tennis here. I've had an idea and you've had an idea, so it's back in my court.
So I'm just writing a list of I'm getting you a voucher so far.
Yeah, thank you. And without doubt, the next thing on the list would be, and yes, it's sort of voucher-ish, but definitely a photography workshop.
You sure we're not plugging our businesses?
We're not, but we are in the game. So it's, get your partner a photography workshop. So little anecdote for you. Monday night this week gone, so this comes out on Friday, so Monday this week, I ran my entry-level photography workshop for the umpteenth time that I've run it at my store. By the way, it's not the same every single time. It does vary. It has evolved over the last 10 years that I've been running it. And I had a lady in there who had been given Canon, funnily enough, Canon M50, and she was that intimidated by the technology, and she was so used to shooting with her phone, but she really wanted to get into photography, and her very, very caring partner had gone out and bought her this Canon M50. She didn't know much about cameras, so she didn't really mind that it was a Canon M50. But from almost my very first part of the workshop, the penny dropped, and she was that hooked on it. You could just see it straight away. All of a sudden, it was all starting to make sense. And you'd get this on your workshops as well. Those moments where you get that really cool feedback, instant feedback from the customer, where you can see they're getting it, and they're like, oh, and she literally like almost screamed out loud. She was that excited by when we made the first image on the screen and how awesome it looked. You know? So
they're good moments, those ones.
They are. They're really cool. I really enjoyed it, and I get as much out of it as teaching as people do being students as well. But definitely photography workshop, whether it be a voucher or just book them in to a workshop and say, guess what you're doing on.
They could always come down to the award-winning.
They could, absolutely. See, now you've got to put that on all your websites, award-winning.
No, gold medalist. Yeah, I'm
gold medal award-winning.
It doesn't sound right to say this, but according to the Tasmanian tourism industry, I am the pinnacle of adventure tourism here at the moment.
There you go.
Would you ever have thought those words would be associated with me? I wouldn't have thought so.
Absolutely. Don't sell yourself short.
I am short. That's enough of the short jokes.
That's it.
Okay, my turn. What are we, 15 or 30, 15?
30-15.
I reckon another good gift for photographers, and it's actually got nothing to do with photography, so to speak, but a holiday somewhere. So going away somewhere, like having a dedicated time to go somewhere with your partner or family, but dedicating some time to say, hey, I know you've always wanted to go see Uluru or something like that. So we're going to Uluru next year as part of your Christmas present or something like that. And, if you're a good husband or wife, you'll say, and by the way, between the hours of 4 o'clock in the afternoon to sunset, you're on your own. I'll take the kids for a couple of days or whatever it might be. But I think we've said it before, you can't put a price on experience and go into places. So I think, if you can book a holiday somewhere, and now everything's opening up again, the world's open again. If you can take your photographer partner or friend, whoever you're buying the gift from, on a trip somewhere, it doesn't have to be overseas. It could be just a weekend trip to Ocean Grove, or it could be to Bright, or whatever it might be.
Just to probably expand on that a little bit as well, it doesn't necessarily even have to be a holiday. It could even just be literally time. Here is a card that says, next week you're going out to take photos. I've got this. I'm cleaning the house, or I'm looking after the kids, or I'm whatever.
Do you reckon we could sell a voucher like that? As photographers,
how you would do it.
you pay us $100. We'll create a nice little voucher for you, and then you give and you just give the time to your partner.
That's right. Yeah, brilliant. Done. It's like an IOU. 6 hours off.
And people
I owe you this many sunsets and this many sunrises for the next year.
People do that.
Have we just hatched an idea?
Of course we have. Jeez, that's what we do on this show. We either bitch about things or we fix things. That's what we do.
That's right. There's not a lot of middle ground.
Not much in between. I've got another one, but I'll let you go if you got another one.
Well, the classic. Quite often we'll get kids in who saved up a bit of pocket money and want to get mum or dad something, to do with their photography. And you can start. Personally, I don't think you can ever have enough memory, and memory cards are so cheap now. Literally, the stocking filler. Go and grab, a 32 gigabyte memory card for like $20 now. Because one of our very early episodes, one of our pro tips was to keep a memory card in the glove box of your car.
Have I done that yet?
Me neither. But that's a good one because, as I say, $20, 15, $20. If the kids want to get something for mum or dad, for example, or uncle or auntie or cousin, whatever it is, Yeah, just a a little spare memory card. They can go a long, long way, and they can save your bacon. They've saved me a couple of times when I've looked in the camera and gone, oh, I know where that memory card is. It's in the card reader attached to my PC.
It's in the back of the back of the computer, still reading. Yeah,
1,000 kilometers that way. And then reached down and found that secret little memory card tucked in the camera bag.
Well, funny you say that, because I will be taking at least a couple of memory cards with me down to Franklin.
I'm glad I reminded you.
Yeah, otherwise I'll be stealing someone else's out of their camera overnight when they're not looking. Can you imagine that?
Take Tom's battery. Just do it.
I have a feeling that it's funny because a lot of most of the people on this trip are my customers, and Tom's coming along as technically my customer, but wanting to do his trip as well, which is great. But everyone knows Tom who's coming along, and everyone knows what sort of character he is. And I usually go down this trip and think, oh, someone's going to push me in the river, or someone's going to steal my battery out of my camera, or do that. But I'm off the hook this trip. I'm feeling safe as houses that I'm not going to be the one who's going to be copping it all on this trip. So it's a good feeling to have before we go down.
I'll tell you what, imagine if he's, lined up there on the Franklin, he's got the shot of a lifetime, and
oh no, memory empty. The funny thing is Tom's bringing 2 Nikon Z5s or Z7s or something like that.
Very nice.
But I don't think either of them will work the whole way. He's had a lot of problems with them. They've been sent back to Nikon like 600 times. It's not where you want to be losing camera gear or not working camera gear.
No, they're going to want something a bit more robust, I would have thought.
Yeah, it might be an iPhone trip.
Okay, so it's 40-30 and it's over to you.
40-30, yeah. I reckon the other one I was thinking, which is pretty cool, is something like Photo Pills, the app. So if you've got someone if someone's a photographer and they don't have Photo Pills, that's about $15-16. It's not much. It'd be an addition to whatever you actually get them. But it's a really, really cool app that has so much information about photography. Works for a lot of different genres of photography. But if you want to plan trips, if you want to plan astro, if you want to plan landscapes, if you want to know where the moon and sun and all that's going to be, at what time of day, where the Milky Way is going to be, and it gives you a lot of it's got a lot of information about photography. So there you go, Brendan's showing it on the screen if you haven't seen it before.
Photo Pills right there. So it's got all these cool little options on it. It's very cool. Yeah,
it is a massive app in regards to what it contains. So I reckon that'd be a good one. If they don't have it, and that could be another one for the kids, if there's a boy or girl or in between, whatever they might be, if they've got a parent who wants, as a photographer, maybe ask them if they've got Photo Pills and you can buy it for them. Because that's a really useful tool to have. And I use it on every workshop that I go on. So if we're going somewhere and we're like, okay, where's the sun coming out, what direction it's going to be, what time, or we're going to go do astro tonight, where's the Milky Way core going to be? It works as a treat. So it's another good one.
Very good. I like it. And should we give one more each suggestion?
I reckon I can think of one more maybe.
Okay.
Have you got one more?
Yeah, definitely. So Cameron, do you know what a lens pen is?
Yes.
So lens pens are invaluable in my opinion, particularly if you've got a landscape photographer who gets out and about a bit and likes to get their gear a bit dirty. I wish I had one here to show you, but I'll put one up on the screen. In fact, probably so far I've put everything up. No, I haven't done that because I'm not that heavy into editing.
Yes, you are.
Not really. So a lens pen is basically a pen-shaped lens cleaner.
Yep.
They're tiny. They fit straight into your camera bag. They're excellent at removing smudges and stuff off filters and lenses. You can even use them to clean your LCD screen if you want. And at the other end's a brush to get sand and stuff out. And why it's really important to keep the end element clean is because it affects the light path, because that's where the light starts and it comes in. So you can get things like chromatic aberration. I just love saying chromatic aberration. It just rolls off the tongue. It's a great.
That's a great word. I struggle with it a bit, so I'll let you.
All right, so you're not going to go there.
I'm not going to go there.
Yeah, so and also like light prisms and stuff where light not falling where it's supposed to, not hitting the sensor how it should. When you've got a dirty, great big smudge on the end of it.
Yeah, that's right. Getting interfered on the way through.
Correct. So lens pen, like another $20, $25 item. So another stocking filler for you.
Yeah,
and so Cam, it's advantage server.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know if we're going to tiebreaker.
Okay.
I think another one which I do like the idea of is like camera bags or camera straps or things like that.
Definitely.
Again, it can be a bit personal. That's where a voucher can probably make it a bit easier for someone to go pick it. But there is some really cool camera bags and camera straps out there these days. So The Peak Design straps with a little thing that clips in there, great for any system. Some of the, for example, if someone loves hiking, the F-Stop hiking bags are incredible. Yes. And even if it's smaller day trips, they have this little capsule that comes in and out, and it's interchangeable between a whole different lot of bags. And so something like a bag or a strap would be pretty cool, and that won't break the bank. Jesus, I'm gonna have another drink. Won't break the bank. But I always like those ones as well. I'm just thinking, going back and what people have got me over the years, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah. And straps and bags are good as well. So definitely. There you go.
There you go, folks. I'll collate a little list and put it below there, what we just talked about. We might even have affiliate links.
Well, that's asking a bit too much.
Yeah, to camera and photo.
yeah. But I think also, if anyone wants to send us presents for Christmas, we won't say no.
No.
PO Box 546 in Hobart, Tasmania 7001. Send whatever you want.
How come you get it all?
Or drop it in the camera and photo at Ocean Grove.
Yes.
Yeah. If it's too big to post, drop it in the Brendan.
But if you've got any questions about a photographic gift, by all means, just drop a little comment below. We do respond to them.
Don't do that.
Well, you'll be up a river. You don't care.
Yeah, we're going to get like 6,000 messages. I'm thinking of buying Todd.
Nah, good, perfect. And I'll answer every one of you. So
absolute bullshit, you will.
Drop a. I didn't say I'd do it this week. I will eventually. But
this is where Mel's looking at the screen going, he's not going to answer.
He will.
All right, I'll come back to look at all the answers.
Hit us up, and if you've got any suggestions that we missed out on,
that's a good one. That's probably more feasible.
Ask us heaps of questions. We love it. That's great. We like communicating with our peoples. Tip of the week.
Tip of the week. Yeah, I did this one.
Did you hear that?
No.
That was the jingle.
No, there's no jingle. There's no jingle.
There's definitely not a jimble, but there might have been a jingle.
There might have been a gimbal. I don't know. That's photo.
Tip of the week is over to you, Mr. Blake.
Yeah, this one I thought of the other day, and it sort of came up because last night, in case you didn't know, which I'm sure so many people didn't see, but there was a lunar eclipse apparently where the moon went a bit orange.
If it's not a super moon, it's
not a blue moon, it's not a blood moon. It was everything. And really? Everyone, this was actually going to be our main topic, and we said no, let's not go down the rant of it. But I'll have a quick rant because there's so many pictures of this moon, and I know people love taking photos of the moon and the lunar eclipse and everything like that. I reckon I saw today 90% of them out of focus, which is great. The other 5%, the light, the highlighted bit of the moon was completely blown out.
Yes.
And the other 5% were really nice and sharp, lovely photos. So, but if you are going to do moon shots or astro shots, one thing you need to remember, and don't do what I did once climbing the highest mountain in Tasmania, is if you're shooting astro and moon shots or nighttime shots the night before, when you wake up in the morning and you're going out to do another shot, make sure you reset your camera back to normal settings. So I once did that on the overland track. We were doing astro one night at the hut we were staying. Woke up the next morning, climbed the highest mountain in Tassie. It took hours to get up there. Got up the shot top, took a heap of shots. It was perfect, beautiful, beautiful day. And I'm like looking at it, I'm like, geez, the shutter speed's super fast up here. Bang, 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 bang. And I ended up having to change. I was shooting F22, and I'm like, just had a moment. And I get back down to the mountain. I'm looking at the shots. I'm like, and I zoomed in as you do, pixel pen. I'm like, Christ, they're bloody grainy. I'm like, what's going on? And I'm like, ISO 3200.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Brilliant.
You bastard. I've just walked up there. So yeah, don't do that. So it's an easy mistake to make, and a lot of people do it on, and it's one thing we talk on at workshops. But if you're out doing a night shoot or doing astro shoot, and you're still out doing stuff on a holiday that you've been given for Christmas, make sure that the next morning when you get up, reset that ISO, reset things back to a normal sort of realm, so you don't get disappointed like I did.
Good call.
Yeah,
very good tip of the week.
And I think it's relevant as well, because this time of year you get a lot of Christmas parties. People go out and shoot the Christmas lights. Then you got New Year's Eve for fireworks and all that kind of stuff. So just be mindful if you're doing nighttime long exposure stuff, not to go take photos of great auntie Meryl the next morning at Christmas dinner and she's blown out because you can't get the shutter speed right.
That's right. Just watch those settings, folks, and
the
remember
last
to
photo
change
ever of her and it's blown out.
Oh, well, that took a weird turn, but that's fine.
It's been a weird episode.
Where it says gear talk there, we'll put a line through that for now. I can't be bothered talking about that camera. We'll talk about it another time.
It's not a Canon, is it?
No, of course not. I don't know. No.
Do you reckon Canon, anyone from Canon has actually listened to this podcast at
definitely.
all? Like
all the manufacturers have Cam. We're on everyone's radar. Don't you worry. They're looking at these upstarts and going, what's going on here? There's a bit of a groundswell for the Down South Photo Show.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And yet they still released the R6 Mark II like they did. So they've taken the last 58 episodes. They've taken no attention to anything we've said.
Why would they?
And they've released that brick. If
someone from Canon's watching, I'd love it. I'll take an R6 Mark II. Why not? It'd be great.
Really?
If you're giving them away, they probably have to now.
Have they dropped in price yet? Surely they have.
Yes, it's copying a wee bit of a pasting, isn't it? Anyway,
well, fair enough.
Never mind. Dear Cam. Yes. Dear Cam is one of our favourite subjects and probably our most long-lasting segment of.
Did you read this one? Because I skimmed over it, but
I have not even got close to it. I'm reading it. The listeners are hearing it first time, as you are.
Good luck.
For some reason, it says episode 57, Dear Cam, but that's okay. That's 2 episodes old. I'm assuming it means episode 59, but that's all right. Thank you. 59. Thank you. Yeah, what? So it does. Dear Cam and Brendan. Yeah. Look forward to the show each week. I received a new OM1. I knew we couldn't get through an episode without this mob's head popping up. I received a new OM1 for a milestone birthday yesterday and had been going through the entire 300 plus pages of manual.
Who does that, firstly? I don't think I've ever read a manual.
Wow. Been going through the entire... Is that just not a cure for insomnia?
I don't know.
Pages of manual. And one thing I have never used before is continuous autofocus. Fair.
Yeah.
I've always had it set on single AF on my OM5 Mark II. Would that be an EM5 Mark II?
Probably would.
I love that camera. EM5 Mark II, fantastic camera.
Yeah.
Can you please explain how it works and when you would use it? And then in brackets, parentheses, brackets. I am also a macro photographer. I am assuming it's as useless for landscape photography as focus stacking and back button autofocus.
I like this person.
Which also having tried it in the past, I don't get that either. But curious to know when it might be useful. Cheers, Alison in Melbourne. Hello, Alison in Melbourne. Hope you're well.
Yeah. Awesome question.
So let's go back to the continuous autofocus question.
Yeah. So continuous autofocus, which is on the Olympus, formerly known as whatever, it's C-AF. I think most cameras it's C-AF. Although I think Canon, is that the AI servo?
Yeah, so Canon call weird things all the time, but they call it AI servo. They also call shutter priority time value.
Yeah, TV, and AV, Anyway, so continuous autofocusing is mainly used for obviously continuously moving items that you might be shooting. So surfers on a wave, birds flying around, racetrack cars and bikes going past, or it might be people walking or running. So it's sort of anything that's sort of got a lot of movement or motion to it is when you generally use it. The idea of that is that the focus continues to track or continues to lock on a subject when you follow it. So it's not the same as autofocus tracking or the new AI focus tracking in some of the cameras as well, but it all marries together. So what it allows you to do is it sort of speeds up the autofocus to keep going with you as you keep pointing at subjects along the way. So if you're chasing a surfer on a wave, not using back button focus because that would get in the way of your nose and your eye and be a waste of time, you could hold the button down and follow your thing and continue to shoot, and it would continue to focus the whole way. So I don't use it too much in landscape photography. I don't use focus stacking or back button focusing. So in landscape photography, look, you might get, you might be at a location like Brendan's shot behind you where there's a nice, beautiful sunset, and you might have some water birds taking off from the beach, even though you're there to do a sunset, it might still be a water bird or something taking off that you want to capture. That's where you may flick it over to continuous autofocus to try and get that. But also macro photography, you wouldn't use it in macro photography as well. So yes, mainly for motion, moving objects. And what it does, it just tricks the autofocus up a bit, goes a bit faster, continues to focus on the subject that you're looking at, and should hopefully give you a pretty good strike rate of images in focus.
Definitely. Very well explained, Cameron. Nothing more to add. from my end.
But it's addressed to you though. It says Dear
You
Brendan
nailed it.
as well.
I read it.
Yeah. You did your
If
bit.
you have a Dear Cam question, by all means, send it through to us in the comments below or at our fabulous new website, which still does not exist.
Or you can email, which most people are doing.
You can email you.
cam@tasphoto.com.au. Yes, email me.
Eventually.
Yes.
Maybe someone will get us a new website for Christmas.
Oh, actually, that's not a bad idea as well. That's another one. I got a friend who I know watches the show. I don't think I've got to mention his name because he doesn't deserve a shout out, but he's been building a website for at least the last 6 months.
Right.
And he has another friend here who also has photography stuff going on. And he continuously hangs shit on this other person about not meeting deadlines and making excuses for things over and over again. Yet this one person has still not got his website live.
Okay.
So to that person, you know who I'm talking to. Get your shit in order and get your website live, because otherwise no one's going to see it if the shop's closed. So
right, there you go.
Open it up.
Okay.
Another rant. I'm just getting old.
Right. Okay, I like it. That's good. Rant away. Now we know what you are doing.
Yes.
You are heading down the Franklin River this coming week, so that's very exciting.
Yes, it is exciting. So that's one thing I'm doing. I've also got something else I had in there as well. But
I can see that.
Yeah. Franklin River, we are meeting everyone tomorrow. So today is Wednesday. We have a meeting tomorrow where we get all our wetsuits and all our gear, and everyone looks terrified. And then they talk about how we do poo in a bucket, and everyone gets a bit nervous about that. And then we all go to the pub afterwards and have a few drinks. And then we head off Friday morning. So we won't be here next week I won't be here doing an episode next week. I might bring back some sounds from the Franklin though. Maybe I'll do a few sound bites of discussions and, Well,
last year we added
we did the video, didn't we?
A little 20-30 second clip at the end of
we did.
Yeah. Yes. Did the card thing work? Maybe I'll put a card for it. I don't even check it.
I've never seen a card in any of our episodes. Can't be that hard.
Stupid YouTube.
It can't be that hard.
You're listening, YouTube algorithm. You're stupid.
That's what we're doing. But I also wanted to give a shout out. I've mentioned a couple of times on the show a few months ago, I was tutoring or mentoring a young guy called Oscar, who went to America with his family. He got some epic shots of New York and Statue of Liberty and Yosemite. He got one of the best shots I've seen of Yosemite National Park. It's one of I think it's El Capitan, which is reflecting in this pond. Looks brilliant. So he does an amazing job. But he also got one of his images featured in the Australian Photography magazine, I think it was. It was awesome. One of those ones where they send in and say, can you critique my images? And they did a sort of full page spread on his image, which was a nice, I think it was a sunset shot over Hobart. So, but he's kicking goals. It's great to see a young bloke with so much passion and skill. I reckon he's going to go a long way with his photography. So good shout out to Oscar. Hope you're doing well. And we're going to do some more sessions. He wants to catch up, and I think he wants to show off. Or maybe he wants to hold the award. I don't know. That's pretty heavy.
That is. You could do your arm curls with that thing.
Jesus, that is.
I like it.
Yes. What are you doing?
Thank you for asking. I'm doing pretty much what I did all week this week, and that is, it's the silly season, so we're pretty much flat out. I'm printing photos for people. I'm making canvas prints. I love it. I'm really enjoying a lot of the photos that I'm putting on canvas at the moment. Some really good landscape stuff's coming through, so that always gets me going. And look, also photos of people's dogs and cats and goldfish and grandchildren and that sort of stuff that all goes along with it. That's cool. That's all part of the the fun of it.
There's another idea for Christmas. You can make give someone a voucher to do a photo book or something.
Oh, that's right. Or make a canvas.
Are you sending many canvases Australia wide, or is it all just local people that you're doing?
A few interstate, not heaps. Vast majority is local. I'm getting, because for those of you playing along at home, Ocean Grove is only 90 minutes from Melbourne, so we get a lot of holiday homes around here. A lot of people only come down, a few times a year, and what I normally find is we get a lot of people from Melbourne down over Cup weekend, which has just happened. And and they order their canvas prints and they come back and pick them up, middle of December when they're coming down for Christmas and that sort of stuff. There's a fair bit of that going on. I have shipped a few canvases interstate. I'm not a huge fan of shipping big stretch canvases purely for the fact that they just get damaged. And you end up having to spend just as much on the packaging as you do on the bloody canvas job. But I do rolled canvases, so I can print canvases, and quite often, every custom framer worth their salt will be able to stretch a canvas for you. So
yeah, okay, cool.
I'm doing that a lot. People like the way we print, so we send.
I like the way you print.
Do you?
I love the prints you've done for me. I love.
Good.
I've got actually a few of them sitting around the back here that I've still got rolled up that I haven't done anything with yet. But
well, there you go. You'll get there.
Here's another question for you, without notice.
Okay.
It being Christmas time, are you looking forward to the clientele coming in with their Christmas cheer and everyone Christmas retail in camera stores? I used to love that. It was so much fun and love and warmth and stuff. Are you looking forward to that?
It has its moments, and I know exactly where you're coming from. It can be challenging. It can be long hours, long days, particularly when you're running the show.
Yeah.
I'll do 14, 15, 16-hour days, particularly in December.
Yeah.
You get this certain level of adrenaline, and you do get a little bit swept up in the festive moment, I suppose. It can be good. It can also be downright a pain in the ass, because you get some people who kind of want it yesterday, but hey, people you've known for the entire year. The Christmas Day is the 25th of December.
Yes.
And, so get your act together.
Doesn't change. And your staff are all, do you do anything sort of special in the lead up to your staff? Is there any sort of little mini staff meetings to gear them up for Christmas and what to expect for the newbies? Or
not particularly. We do. We do. I mean, there's always the little meeting at the start of December where we talk about what we're going to be selling and what we've got stock of, what we haven't got stock of. Tell you one thing we got stock of this week was film.
Oh yes, I saw that.
3 months since I've had a shipment of film, and we finally got some film through. So half of it's already sold.
Yeah.
And we're probably not going to see another shipment now until February. So
yeah, it's crazy.
It's like hen's teeth.
Yeah.
So if you want to buy a roll of film for $180, come and see me.
And then spend an extra $200 processing it. Do you do? I'm looking at my business today. The Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales. Do you do any of that kind of stuff? Do you reckon it's worth doing?
I should, because everyone else does, but I really don't give a toss. No, I don't. I run my own specials. And to be frank, like coming into Christmas, I don't really need to promote. I need to promote in February when things get quiet, and when it's not, Mother's Day or Father's Day or something coming up. And February is normally that time when things really do fall away. So keep an eye out in Feb, guys. That's when you get the best deals from me. And I don't do Boxing Day sales. In fact, I don't even open on Boxing Day.
And the cricket's on.
Well, that too, but I don't know. I just find we're in so much of a hurry to get, that retail is shoved down your neck 364 days of the year. Why should it have to be, the Boxing Day sales? I don't know. They annoy me.
And I think these days as well, like you get sale, like I said, there's the half yearly sale. There's all this. You can almost get the same price at Christmas for Christmas time, middle of the year. Like they generally,
of course, you can.
The same price all year round.
Look, I mean, we're all pretty intelligent people here that listen to the Down South Photo Show. We all know that it's all just marketing and gimmicks and hype and all that sort of stuff. And as a small business owner, I probably should get on board with it more, but I probably, to the detriment of my business sometimes, a little bit too honest. Like I've said this before on the show. I don't have to sell 100 Nikon whatever cameras. I'll sell a camera that I know is right for the customer, not just because I've got it in stock and need to get rid of it. So
that's right.
And that's where being an independent makes such a big difference. We've gone way off topic here, and it's probably time to end.
It's almost time to end. I just want to finish my end of the show with some thank yous, if I could. Just in regards to what happened this week with our award that we won, that we were stoked about. I just wanted to thank, obviously, my wife Lisa, because she puts up with the shit that I bring home every week, but also to Chelsea, my good friend Chelsea, who always gets a shout out, gets another one. That's going to annoy Mel because there's a bit of a playoff there between who gets the most shout outs. But Chelsea has helped me out a lot in the last couple of years, so I want to thank her as well. And thank you, mate, for your support and helping me plug my little show, my little business on the show here.
No problem at all.
And I also wanted to thank all the listeners out there, not only for all their beautiful comments that they put on the pages when they announced it, but also I want to thank them also for helping us vote in the Australian Podcast Awards, because we put it out there and people did vote. I don't think we won anything, but that's okay. But maybe next year. But it was great. There's heaps of people went and voted for our show. So if you're listening and you haven't subscribed and you haven't liked and you haven't rung the bell or you haven't downloaded the Podbean or whatever it is, make sure you do, because it helps us.
Absolutely. Well said, well put.
Thank you. That's better than the speech I made at the awards, which I didn't make a speech. It was great.
Good. I'm not much of a speech maker either.
No.
All right. You enjoy yourself down the Franklin. We look forward to talking to you
Thank
in
you.
2 weeks. We may or may not have an episode of the Down South Photo Show next week. Let's find out. By then we'll know. So anyway, whatever. No, you won't. You've been listening to episode 59 of the Down South Photo Show. We will see you sometime in the future for episode 60. Cheers, guys.
See you later. Bye.